Hello everyone, welcome to your show, The Untold, where we share stories daily. Hussein, welcome to the show.
Ahmed, thank you so much.
It's been fun hosting this with you, honestly.
Thank you so likewise, honestly. I think
And we're covering different topics every day.
Different guests.
Different guests from different backgrounds, from all over the world.
100%.
It's so fun, but today we're gonna talk about something different.
Adventurous.
Adventurous.
Scary.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be scary.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
We're gonna talk about the world of kickboxing.
Yes, exactly.
Specifically for women,
100%.
which is not something that's quite
Commonly.
popular or common,
Exactly.
but our champion is making it happen.
She's done a lot.
She's great.
She's been in the industry, I think, since 2013.
Yeah,
She's won
almost
so
a
many
decade,
gold medals.
So many medals and so many stories to learn from.
Exactly.
With her joining us right next.
We're back from the break and we can finally welcome our guest, Zahraa Boabbas. Zahraa, thank you. Welcome so much to the Untold, of course.
Thank you for having me.
No
Yeah,
worries.
welcome to the show.
Ahmed and I are very curious about your life, about what you do, about your accomplishments.
All right.
First of all, we're very proud of what you do.
Well,
I
thank
think
you very
it's,
much.
something great. Shall we start with the question of what do you do? Tell the world what do you do?
Yeah.
Who's
Okay, so I am a kickboxing athlete.
Yeah.
I've participated in local and international games. I also started teaching kickboxing, and I'm originally a fitness trainer. So
Nice.
I have like two outlets, fitness and kickboxing. But I'm
And
mostly
they go hand in hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
they go hand in hand. But I'm mostly specialized in kickboxing. So yeah,
And you've been doing it for a long time now.
yeah, almost 10 years.
Wow.
Almost a decade. That's an accomplishment. You should be proud.
Thank you.
Why did you choose kickboxing? What got you into it?
I got into kickboxing by mistake. So
Okay.
yeah,
This is a story. There
it's
we
a
go.
really
There we
funny
go.
story actually.
Yes.
So I was a fitness trainer originally working at one gym, and I had my friend working at another gym. She's also a fitness trainer, and she was like, "There's this kickboxing class behind your gym. Why don't we go after you finish work?" And so we got there. We played the class, and I stuck to it, and she didn't. That's it.
Oh wow.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. You try something new and then you like it.
It's a beautiful coincidence that happened that just take you along through life, and then you look back at it 10 years after, and
and-
here you are playing internationally.
Yeah.
Some people take it for granted.
Yeah, and I never thought of that the moment I entered the class. I never thought that I would be a champion or playing internationally or any of that.
Yeah.
Or I've been having a kickboxing school for kids and stuff. But it just
It's funny
as we
how-
went through the years, it just progressed.
It's funny how one little thing leads
Exactly.
to something
It's like a
bigger.
domino effect.
Yes.
But Zahraa, 10 years ago, did you see Zahraa today? Did you see what she's doing today? Or is it just come
Not at all. I got into kickboxing. I was already a fitness trainer, so I did not think of becoming a kickboxing trainer because I already had my job, so everything was fine for me. But you know, sometimes in life you get to one point and then you say, okay, so what's the next challenge?
Exactly.
And then 10 years later, we have a kickboxing school. We're
Right.
teaching other girls,
That's
kid
awesome.
children and stuff. Yeah, so we never
So,
thought of that. No.
Which one do you enjoy more? I would say kickboxing as a coach.
No, actually both. Everything has its different flavor.
Okay. So you enjoy both.
I enjoy
being
both.
a fitness coach and then a kickboxing trainer.
Yeah, exactly.
All
I
right.
think that's a beautiful. What I like about the story that you're saying is that you're someone that has this mindset. You're enjoying the journey along the way, and you're not too focused about the end result.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
suddenly the end result just comes onto your plate, comes into your life.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
And just the journey, right? You're
Yeah,
just enjoying
I
it.
was just enjoying the journey, and then suddenly it became a success.
Exactly, it's just a beautiful surprise, I think, and
Right.
a lot of successful people speak of the exact same thing. You can see it all over Instagram, where they say that the person that enjoys the journey is more successful than the person that just looks at the result, because you put in you put in the hard work.
No, exactly, because the journey gets tough.
Yeah.
If you don't like the journey and you just want the result, when it gets tough, you're gonna quit. So if you're enjoying the journey, you're not gonna quit. So you're gonna get the result eventually.
Now, in this society we live in, it might have a little bit of stigma working in this field. How were you received at the beginning when you wanted to start, or you dove into the world of kickboxing? Family, friends, society. Did you face any issues?
Okay, so for the first year, it was a secret. For the following 2 years,
A secret as in no one really knew?
No one really
and
knew.
You just were doing it at the gym?
I was just doing it by myself, and I did not like have that all eyes on me attitude.
Okay.
No. I just wanted to do it for fun and everything, and that's it.
And then a year later?
And then a year later, I got so into it, so I started inviting my family over. I come to my fights, come like this, and I'm not gonna lie and say that they were on board. No, they were not on board. The following 2 years, 3 years, I think it's when I got the black belt and I started teaching kickboxing is when they finally relaxed.
When you proved them wrong.
So at the beginning there was some pressure on you.
Yeah.
From friends and family.
It was exactly like kickboxing is not a girl's
Right.
Sport, so why are you playing it?
Which is incorrect.
But why is that? Why is it like that? I mean, it's very interesting that you had to hide a big talent. Oh, not a talent. It's just a side thing that you're interested in. You had to hide it from the whole world.
Actually, at the first year, I wasn't hiding it on purpose, but because I was just doing it for fun, I didn't feel the need to advertise it. But when it got to the point of becoming like a favorite hobby of mine, then I started telling people.
That's when you started doing something great out of it, and you started winning competitions. We had the first black belt.
Yeah,
it's like, wait a second, this might not just be a side interest. Zahraa might be onto something here.
Right.
She might be onto a path of a long-lasting success. Well done, I guess, honestly, for fighting cultural stigmas.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, what would you say makes someone a good coach, or what sets you aside from the rest of the coaches in the industry?
Okay, so the first thing that makes a good coach is that you don't mind having the people under you be better than you. Especially I'm in a young age, and most of the people I teach might be older than me. So I have a group that is older than me and a group that is younger than me. They all listen to me, but at some point, you're gonna find someone who has talent that's doing better than you.
Yeah.
And here you can find the difference between a good coach and a bad coach. So a good coach enforces the talent under it, and like it makes it bloom and grow. And we're a team and we're together and we're moving forward. Like a selfish coach, I wouldn't say a bad coach, it's just a selfish coach would still want to be the shining star
The
in
most
the
skilled,
team,
the
and,
best.
Yeah, and they
Doesn't
won't
focus on
teach
advancing
everything.
their students.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I mean, have you ever heard the quote? It's like if you wanna go fast, go alone. If you wanna go far, go with a team. Like I think it's so true. Like I think that kind of applies with your life. I think perhaps.
Yeah, I think so.
Zain always hitting us with his quotes.
I can't not honestly, because every guest surprises me with beautiful stories, honestly. And this one is just really interesting, and I think it really applies to you, because it takes a lot of courage and I think life lessons for you to kind of like look at others and teach them and not see them as a competitor, see them as someone that's kind of like supporting you.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you always a competitive person? As a person, are you a competitive person?
I like to win,
Right.
but I don't get upset if I lose.
Okay. That's a good mentality to have.
Yeah. The only time I got upset when I lost was my last fight in Thailand. I got upset because I felt that I didn't give it my all. That's what got me upset, not the losing part. The part there where I felt I didn't do everything I can. I could have done better.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only time I got upset after a
And
fight.
we all face that in different ways, really. When we come up short and we know we have what it takes to even not just win, but succeed and thrive in the industry we're in. But you know, we all have off days. So it happens.
100%.
And we'll learn from those little obstacles we
But
face.
you can't have an
mistakes we
off
make.
day on a competition day.
Right. In your field, you can't. You gotta be on.
That's the one
all
thing you
the
have to be
time.
all in.
Yeah.
It's like, today I'm here to win.
Yeah.
I don't care about any quotes, any philosophies. I'm here to win.
to win. Winning gold, you know?
Yes,
Championship
exactly.
gold. So, would you say there's a high demand for women in Kuwait or around the region for boxing? Is there a demand for it?
So martial arts in general is becoming more of a trend nowadays.
Yeah.
In Kuwait, I find it more in demand when violent acts in the public occur. And then I find like a new group of women coming over and they're like, no, this world is a dangerous place. We want to learn how to defend ourselves.
Self-defense. Lots of people go into this purely for self-defense
100%,
based on the environment we live in and some dangers we might face.
Yes.
Kuwait, it is a very safe country,
Obviously,
but you never know what might happen.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on how the news affects them, but most women I get are just stressed out and they want to have an outlet. So it's a good outlet to be an athlete.
Something I want to just ask about, I'm curious about. So you won more than 10 gold medals, right?
Almost, more or less.
Yes, and you had 2 bronze ones. Am I right?
Well, 1 bronze.
1 bronze. So
And I hate it. That's the one I cried.
that's the thing. That's exactly
That's the Thailand one where I cried. That
so
one.
there's what the question is. So I love the fact you have 10 gold ones, right?
Yeah.
But I think I just want to, because the bronze one is what got my attention.
Okay.
And I wanted to know, obviously when you get a gold one, we know how it feels.
Yeah.
You're the best of the best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How does it feel getting a bronze one after getting all the gold ones? Does it feel weird? And what happens? How do you feel emotionally? What do you tell yourself when you do that? Does it put you down or does it push you further?
2 words. I cried for like almost an hour after the fight.
And after the hour?
Yeah. And after the hour, well, I want to do better. So we have a fight next Saturday.
All right.
I have good vibes about it. I feel like I'm going to do good.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my focus. My focus is not on the past. That was enough for an hour.
Yes.
Right.
Enough crying for an hour. I cried all the liquids in my body.
But you probably learned from that loss, right?
Yeah.
You learned.
The thing I learned was that I need to relax before a fight because I was picking fights with everybody I know. I was so stressed out. Maybe because it was like an age competition, so it's like high tensed, high stressed. And so I put the stress on the people around me, and somehow they did not know how to handle that stress. So it's wrong when you put the responsibility of your own happiness on other people.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to control right now. So even if I'm stressed out, I'm gonna try to calm myself down.
Yes.
Not wait for one of my friends to calm me down. No, that's
You
not
kind
gonna
of learned
happen.
that the hard way, perhaps. We learned it nonetheless. Thing is, because Ahmed, you're just saying that something about a loss, but I just want to perhaps maybe just a little bit of perspective shift. I mean, a bronze is not a loss, is it? I mean, perhaps it's not the win that you intended to get.
Is that second place, basically?
No, it's third place.
Third
And
place?
nobody
Okay.
remembers second place. That's a quote for you.
That's a quote for you.
Listen, I love how competitive you are. I really do. But I think, I don't know, mark me if I'm wrong. I think it's a perspective shift at the same time. Because you can either look at it as a loss or a third place, or just not the win you were hoping for.
Yeah, just not the win I was hoping for. Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
just, if you change the perspective, perhaps it just might give
No,
you...
actually, we have a different way of measuring stuff in kickboxing. So if I look at the video of the fight and I see myself flying and doing back kicks and front kicks and like being an acrobat on stage, I wouldn't be upset if I lost. But that fight, I didn't see that.
What did you see?
I see myself playing it safe.
Okay, I see.
So
She's
that's
in the corners.
why I got upset. Yeah, because I played it safe.
Okay, I see.
And like half of the time, we were staring at each other. Neither me or her were hitting. I was like, why didn't you like use that time?
Punch
You
me
got
in the
some
face.
points.
You missed. So we've talked about how many matches you've had. You probably had over.
I don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
is it 10 years? Let's
Yeah.
say 2 national and 1 international per year. So
All right,
yeah.
so that's plenty. But
yeah.
can we go through the process of preparing for one match or a competition? The mental preparation, the physical preparation, the training, a special diet maybe. Let me know.
Okay, so for me, number 1 is the special diet. Because
Nutrition is key.
yeah, because I'm short, I have to play in a certain weight category. So like maintaining my diet and maintaining my weight is like the largest stress I have before a fight. I don't think about the fight. I don't think about winning or losing. I think about making weight.
Okay.
Like this is my number 1 priority. After the diet, I don't worry much about fitness level because I'm already a fitness trainer, so I play with my students and I already have a high fitness level. But we do prepare a lot of kickboxing techniques depending on the weight category I'm gonna play in, depending on if it's a national or international fight. So there's a different technique, professional fight or amateur fight. Also, there's a different technique.
A lot to consider.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot to really process before you go into a fight. You're fighting someone.
Exactly.
Granted, there are strict rules and all that, but you're getting punched in the face in the end.
It doesn't hurt, by the
Hopefully
way.
not. Hopefully not.
Really?
It hurts more to get punched in the stomach.
I think, Zahraa, it's a beautiful conversation now. I think we just have to go for a little break and we'll
All
be right
right.
back with, I think, even more and more stories.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Untold. We're joined by our very special guest, a kickboxer by day or by night, so we can discover what you do by day.
Okay, so my full-time job, I'm a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming, I bet. So let's talk about that then. What made you want to become a lawyer as well?
I like to use my brain. I don't like having my brain on the side. So reading and doing stuff that it requires thinking and like moving your brain cells, that really interests me. As much as I like moving my body, I like to move my brain, you know.
Keeping your brain active
Yeah.
during the day.
So it's like she's fighting for justice in the courtrooms,
Yeah.
and then she can fight her own battles
100%.
in the squared circle.
100%.
You know?
And I think, mark me if I'm wrong, I think if you, that's because you like using that brain and whatnot, I think you can, they say that you can technically win a boxing or kickboxing match before even starting the match. But kind of like, you know, the way you talk to the opponent, the way you look at the opponent, what you talk, what you tell them. Is this part of the game?
I actually like that you brought that up.
Go ahead, please.
I lost a game once because I let the opponent get to my head on Instagram.
Oh,
You
wow.
realize
No way.
how silly
Wow.
that is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you guys feuding online?
Yeah, we were feuding online, and then I lost the fight before even getting on the ring.
She
my
got in
God.
her head. Wow.
That's actually really interesting to kind of know how, because I'm assuming you had self-doubt.
No, I did not have self-doubt, but I was so angry, and anger throws off your game. So when you're
You're not
calm
focused.
and focused, you have a plan in your head and you're doing the plan.
Yeah.
But when you're angry, you just want to smash their face. You don't even think about the open points or where you're supposed to punch, where you're supposed to like do your defenses, how you do your footwork.
It's a technique.
I can
It's
only
a
imagine
technique,
how
you
many
know?
things you have to focus on in the ring itself. Like you have to focus on the opponent, on your moves, on your
movements,
defense. Am I gonna get
blocking.
punched?
Yeah.
There's so much.
No, actually, that's why we have training. So you don't focus on how you punch or how you do defenses
You're on
because
autopilot. At
yeah,
that
you're
point.
on autopilot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's how you drive a car.
But then what's your focus then?
The only thing you need to focus on is sticking to the plan that you trained for
Okay.
and looking for open points to punch. So you have to be focused on the opponent. If they have their hand a little bit up, then you can do a liver shot. If they have their hand a little bit down, then you can do a head kick. So a head kick is like 2 points.
Wow.
It's better than a punch. Nobody knows that.
Take that down.
Yeah, take it.
If anyone threatens me, here you go.
Yeah. So, kickboxing is a form of mixed martial arts, you would say?
No, I would
No?
not say that. It's just the regular boxing add to
Adding
it
the kicking,
the kicks.
the kicking
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
And have you wanted to try mixed martial arts?
At first, when it became a trend, I thought it was like a barbaric kind
Right.
of
It's
fight.
a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, but
And-
now that I got to know kickboxing in full, and I'm looking for a new challenge, I think that might be it.
Mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts.
that
Is
step
the
up?
next is the next
This
step.
is the next step because
Right.
I don't know how to do floor play, so I don't know jiu-jitsu, judo,
Right,
or
right,
any of the
right.
floor games.
Yeah.
So learning that and mixing them both together will be an edge.
I like that you want to like try different things. You want to go for the next step. You don't want to just, I know this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna excel at this, and this is all I'm gonna do.
She's very
No,
competitive, to be
Yes,
honest. I mean-
competitive. And she wants to advance herself as
Yeah.
a fighter, which is very, very interesting.
The thing is, I mean, you're competitive, obviously. There's one question, and a lot of people fall into this because you said earlier, before the break, you said that you're watching your video and you're very analytical on yourself.
Yeah.
I wasn't hitting the right places and so on. So is Zahra a perfectionist?
A little bit, and you need to be a perfectionist in that type of game.
Okay.
Even in being a lawyer in the morning, you have to be a perfectionist to master that type of career. So I think my choice of life is,
So you always aim for perfection.
yeah, it's in need of perfectionism.
It's either 100% or nothing at all.
Pretty much.
Either I knock you out or I'm not going to the game.
Now I know where I get my anxiety.
But I'm assuming being in a fight can let so much energy out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only assuming how much energy goes out.
If you do your best and you do well, yeah, the energy goes out. If you, like the last fight, do like 80% and there's still that 20% build up inside, you're gonna wait for the next fight to give it now 120%. So
I mean, I don't know. I've never been in that spot, to be honest.
Right.
When I was younger, I tried it, to be honest.
You tried what,
I
boxing?
was in kickboxing for like a month.
A
right?
month.
And I remember I was in this fight and I punched someone in the face. See, I'm not enforcing it. I'm not suggesting that you should. It doesn't feel bad.
After punching someone in the face?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
speaking of punching someone in the face, would you say it's a myth or reality that you have to break your nose first before getting into boxing? It's like, train like
I've been
gets you
playing
ready.
for 10 years. I haven't never break my nose or break anybody
All
else's
right.
nose.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
That's
for
a myth.
me, when anybody
It is.
asks
It is a
me,
myth.
it's really hard to break a nose. By the way, you have to have like a hook punch or an uppercut punch in a certain dimension for you to break a nose.
Yeah.
It's easier to knock a person out. It's
I
much
mean-
easier.
Okay.
Yeah, because you just have to hit on a certain
A
point of the
specific
jaw,
spot in the jaw.
and that's it. Either by kick or punching. Yeah,
We're
it's
gonna try
easier
that
to
later.
knock it out.
We can't teach people. let's not
That's
cut
not
it here.
the
Let's
point
cut
of
it
the
here. Let's
show.
move to the next question.
Yeah,
Next
yeah,
question.
let's
next
move to the
question. I actually have a question. You know how they say if you want to become better at football, for example, or basketball, you have to always watch a football player playing, for example, or a basketball playing. Is it true? Like, do you watch international players playing so that you can mirror their body language, or perhaps take it all in?
Not only for mirroring body language, I actually watch international players to get ideas on how to teach my students.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, because sometimes there's nothing right or wrong in kickboxing. So sometimes a certain style is not good for me, but I see that style in one of my students. So I study that style to give that knowledge to her.
Okay.
But not always watching a video will give you knowledge, but at least it gives you a good idea about how the game is played.
Okay.
That's very true. Now, since you've been in this profession, you probably have an idol or a role model or your favorite boxer. Do you have any that you follow? Or you're your own role model?
I'm excited
'Cause
about
that's
this
a thing too.
That's an awkward question because the answer is no, I don't have a role model.
Okay.
That's
Who's
okay.
your role model? Who's your role model? I'm excited to know.
Any.
Any role
anyone.
model.
What inspires you? Or, That's a different question, but
It's really
think of the role model first.
Okay, that's a tough question.
No, is it okay? So, is there someone in the field, for example, just like football, there are certain footballers that we all look to. Is there someone in your field?
Well, I guess maybe that's not the way I think. Like, I think that Napoleon Bonaparte was good at law. So he put a couple of good legal perspective in some points. So I like him in those points. And then I
Okay.
look at another guy who has the other points and I like that one. So
Okay.
I just put stuff together. I don't have a certain person that I idolize.
That's fair.
one.
That's fair.
You know, I asked my cousin this question once, and he answered with the most beautiful answer. I was like, "Who's your role model?" And he looks at me. He's like, "Myself yesterday." And I was like-
Myself yesterday.
I was like, "Wow!" And I kind of see Zahra as
It's
someone
another
that would
quote,
say-
my friend.
Yeah, and I think I see Zahra as someone that would say that. That's why I was waiting for the answer. I was like,
No.
she'd say something because I think you're definitely in love with the sport that you do, focusing on the sport now, and that's
Yeah.
something that I can feed it. I can see how passionate you are in it, and I can only imagine how much passion you give in your trainings to the students.
Yeah. This sport is my baby. It's like raising a child.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
put everything into it. I love it.
I love that how dedicated you are
Yeah.
to the sport. And we're not here promoting violence, of course. We're against violence.
No, actually,
right?
if you play martial arts, you become more calm.
The point is that whenever you're doing any sport, put your energy in it as long as you play safely.
Yes.
Play within the
Absolutely.
rules, have fun.
Of
No
course,
need to
of
always
course.
point at the point where you've knocked
Exactly.
someone out.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Unless you're in a competition, which I
Unless
completely
you're in
understand.
competition,
Yeah,
The gold
exactly.
medal is there,
Yeah.
and no bronze for us. I think only gold.
Only
No
gold.
silver either.
No
No
silver.
silver either, my friend.
I think aim high always. Try to aim for the bull's eye, and sometimes you're gonna get it close to the bull's eye. And I think what I respect the most is that you kind of like practice a lot of gratitude,
Yeah.
and you're so aware of your progress, and that's what matters. I think the most.
Zahra, a message for you to send to the audience, even younger audiences that aspire to be in any competitive sports,
Okay.
but especially in your field.
So, my advice to all the young ones out there, or anybody who's thinking of doing martial arts, number one is that the chances of getting hurt by playing martial arts are the same chances of getting hurt by ice skating or doing ballet or doing football. It's the same. you get hurt more from training
Yeah.
than you get hurt from fights. Like, it's rare when we get really injured from fights, usually because we play for points at the
Points,
end.
yes.
So it's like the technique and the learning process is where you get hurt the most. But when you get to a point where you can't fight, the adrenaline takes over. You don't feel anything.
Exactly.
Even if you do get hurt. But it's like rare if you do.
It just kind of passes by.
Yeah, that is the first thing. The second thing is that it's our turn now to educate people that this is a girl sport and we do need it. And it doesn't make you less of a woman if you play martial arts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the biggest point, by the way.
That's the biggest takeaway from this, I would say.
Because a lot of people, I think, see it as a
Male-dominated sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyone can do it.
100%.
100%.
Honestly, Zahraa, thank you so much
You're
for this
welcome.
beautiful conversation. It's
Thank
been
you
a
for your
beautiful
time.
story, a beautiful untold story. I hope people can learn so much from you. I think we definitely did. Thank you for being part of the Untold.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And yeah, let's take a break for now and we shall come back. We're back from the break and we can finally get to the ending points of this episode. What do you think?
Wow, a lot of to process,
Yeah.
you know, and I've learned more about how athletes, specifically in combat sports, what they need to go through to prepare themselves in these fights.
Exactly.
It takes a lot. It's not just learning how to punch someone, if that's the sport, but it's a discipline, the amount of time,
Dedication. Yeah.
you know. And she's a very inspiring character.
She is. I think I love the fact that she's so committed to it. And the best part about it is that it came by coincidence.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that planned. Her friend just simply invited her to another class, and she went into it and she found herself.
Yeah.
And I think the people watching this episode, they need to learn that sometimes when you take the extra step to the right or the left, unplanned steps, might end up being your future.
Might end up being your future and a huge part of your life.
Exactly. Just like it is for Zahraa.
Exactly. And
Right.
it was a great episode today. Join us tomorrow for another brand new guest and more stories to share
From the Untold.
from the Untold. Good night.